It's now time for Cooking with Crystal, presented by Jeff Crystal Catering.
Hi, today we're going to talk about venison round steak. Not every piece of venison is made for grilling, but some of them you can sort of doctor up in a way that it'll work. On the venison round steak, it is a tougher cut of meat. Usually that we use it in the restaurant business with beef as a roasting product. When it's cut like this, some easy techniques that you can do to make it a little more tender is take a fork and just gently pierce it. Then we're going to make a marinade. Now in your marinade, you got to remember that the components, you need some kind of oil, you need some kind of acid, and then your seasoning. Everything else can be adjusted to your liking, what's in there. If you like rosemary, fresh rosemary, that works excellent. There's a lot of different things we can add, but what you want to do, the rule of thumb is about an inch an hour you need to marinate for, or you can do it overnight. If you over marinate too long, the meat will get a woody consistency of it. The acid starts to break down the meats too much. What we're going to do for this recipe is you're going to need about 1/8 of a cup of Jameson Irish whiskey, a little bit of Jeffrey seasoning crystals, a little bit of hot sauce, a splash of Worcestershire, some fresh garlic, black pepper, and the olive oil and kosher salt. Once you want to put your acids in first, so that gets to the meat first. So what we're going to do is add the Worcestershire, splash a little whiskey over, and the hot sauce. So right now that's very thin, the acid's working in the meats. We'll move it around a touch. Now we're going to add some Jeffrey seasoning crystals, some fresh cracked pepper, pinch of kosher salt. Now I know some people are saying, Jeff, everybody's always said when you put salt into a marinade it dries the meat out. We're not going to marinate this product that long. So for short minutes, for 45 minutes of marination, I don't think that the benefit is better than it is worse for the marination at this point. You might have some drawn out moisture, but the salt will also help break down the meat and just add flavor to it. Now we're just going to cover all that up with a splash of olive oil. Now you could cover that, let that sit for about an hour, and then give it a grill. When you have that oil on your grill and you're firing up your outside grill, we're going to use our inside one here. Just remember, you're going to get some original flame up. That's fine. On any time you're grilling meats like this, you want a hot flame first. It'll sear the outside of the meat and cauterize it. No more juices will escape from that point. If you put it on a low heat, it sort of bleeds out right on your grill. So what we do with the oil is make sure there's plenty of oil on there so we get a nice hot flame right at the introduction of cooking. Sears it, keeps the juices in. We'll just need a little bit of Jeffrey seasoning crystals to finish this. And remember, the key to cooking steaks on a grill is do it hot at first. You could have a warmer side, a cooler side, off to your side, one side of the grill that you could, after you sear it, move it off to if you like yours, depending on how you like your meats done. If you take your arm and press your finger against your arm, this would be well done. That'd be about medium, and the top of your arm would be rare. The more squishiness that's in the meat, that's the rarer it is. We'll put a little bit more Jeffrey seasoning crystals. What that does is what you have going on now is a layering of flavors. You had your marination, the same seasoning you use in your marinade won't taste the same as the seasoning you're putting on at the end. It's going to be cooked, the acids affect the seasoning, so the end coating will be a little bit different. A little bit of the seasoning crystals at the end. And a lot of time, if you get a curl on that like that, just take a knife and give what it is, there's a little bit of fat right there, and that'll open up for you if you just cut that little piece. Now, when we're done cooking this, what we'll talk about is a little about recirculation. Anytime you take meat off a grill, always leave it sit for about 10 minutes in a warm spot. What that does is let the blood bloom back out into the product. So if you have a medium and you pull it off right away and you cut it, the center would be concentrated red. After you leave it set, it'll bloom back out and make a beautiful steak. You don't rush it, it sort of relaxes the meat some. And then after, we'll just finish it with a dollop of whole butter and let that melt over. Now, what also happens as this recirculates and the butter melts, this makes some of the best natural sauces to dip bread into. Doesn't get any better than that. For this great recipe and other great recipes, go to the outdoor icon and click on Cooking with Crystals.
Excellent difference.
This Outdoor Icon Show factoid is brought to you by DRS. Stay tuned, the Outdoor Icon will be right back.
All right. Well, we got the fresh stuff now, Rob. I'm all ready to go. After seeing Candice harvest that deer, yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah,
My freezer's empty. I got to get rid of, give away whatever's left in the freezer, and I'm sure there's some people would be happy to make up some of the deer burger and stuff that I got and replace them with fresh and brand new.
I'd probably give that to my brother. He eats any deer. It doesn't matter how old it is. That's how much he loves it. And that's why we got to restack the freezer. And I think the diagrams on the back will help us how to use this stuff.
Well, if it's not self-explanatory, I can guarantee a 12-year-old, I can get her over here and have you give you some classes on how to
Get
use
Candice over
Yeah,
here
we
and show you
Candice
how she
there.
did it.
Yeah.
But that was a great show. We're off and running for a great season. And with deer season, this is a time of year that not only deer go into the rut, but sportsmen have their own type of a rut where they start telling the stories and they start wearing the camouflage and you start seeing them frequenting the spots that hunters hang out at. And I mean, this is the time of year we live for.
It's where all the stories start. Right, Dad?
No, and last year's stories end and this year's stories start.
Yep.
And then there's already been a few ones hit the ground already and took a ride home in the back of people's pickup trucks. And I'm looking forward to having one in the back of mine real soon.
Well, we got good buddies here. We can all go out and have a good time and get ready for a little hunting camp. That's something else I always look forward to when the fall comes.
And Northeast Ohio, Western Pennsylvania's got some of the best hunting anywhere in the country. So we're real fortunate to live here. We've got some great shows coming up, filmed right here in the Mahoning Valley, Shenango Valley area. It's going to be fantastic this season.
Yeah. Well, so until next week, Dan, have a great outdoor experience.
All right, come on, just one more. One more.
That's it, now get out.